Okay guys, let's move on to the last example. Okay, this is K-Byte example. Okay, so example 4, MRSM Asymptote launched a water rocket in a school pool during the officiating ceremony of SEM Type 3. The rocket launched vertically upward from the surface of the field with its velocity v is given by v is equals to 20 minus 10t. After t seconds from the surface of the field, the rocket stops momentarily at p. The rocket stops momentarily. So that means v is equals to 0 at p seconds when t is equals to p. So this is the first information. Find the value of p. So we need to find t is equals to what, in which p is equals to what, when v is equals to 0. So first of all, let's describe. Okay, let's describe the situation. So this is our rocket. The rocket is launched vertically upward. So like this. So let's say if the rocket stops here, let's say the rocket stops here. Okay, what will be the value of this stands for? Okay, this is what we call the height. Okay, the height of the rocket from the ground. Okay, this is height. Or in other terms, we are saying in this kinematics whether it is displacement, velocity or acceleration. So this height will represent what? This height will represent the displacement of the rocket. So you need to understand this. Okay, you need to understand the situation. The height of the rocket from the ground will represent the displacement of the rocket from the ground, in which the ground will become the fixed point. Okay, so let's see what is A. Okay, so A, when v equals to 0, what will be the value of p, in which p is equals to the time. So we have our velocity function, so it's easy. So v is equals to 20 minus 10 t, or we can say v is equals to 20 minus 10 p. So 20 minus 10 p equals to 0. That means p is equals to 2 seconds. Okay, so it's simple question. Okay, next, express in terms of t the displacement of the rocket. So the question asks for what is the function of s. Okay, again, when we are given v, velocity, how can we find displacement? We need to integrate velocity with respect to t. Okay, so b, s is equals to integration of v with respect to t. So s is equals to integration of 20 minus 10t dt. So s is equals to 20t minus 5t squared plus c. So in this question, okay, it doesn't state whether the initially the particle is 5 meters to the left of fixed point. There is no such information in these questions, right? So we need to know when there is no information about the initial displacement. So we said that the initial displacement when t equals to 0, therefore s is equals to 0. So substitute s and t with 0. So we can say that our c is equals to 0. So what is our displacement function? S is equals to 20t minus 5t squared. Okay, you need to remember that not all situation the c is equals to 0. You need to read the information given. If the question gives us initial displacement or initial velocity, so you need to remember the c will not become 0. Okay. So this is for B. So how about C? Okay. Okay, C1. Find the maximum height of the rocket. So max V sama berapa? When we talk about maximum or minimum, we are talking about dV dt is equals to 0. Okay, dV dt is equals to 0. So max V when dV dt equals to 0. So dV dt equals to negative 10. Okay. Maximum velocity. Oh, sorry guys, lupa pula. Sorry. Okay. Okay, lupakan tadi ya. Okay, lupakan. Okay, sorry. Okay. When we talk about maximum height, okay, you need to remember when the rocket reach maximum height. Okay, reach maximum height. Okay, so let's say this is the rocket. So it will go upward vertically. Okay, of course, when we launch rocket, the rocket will go down again, right? So before the rocket go down, it will reach the maximum point or maximum height, in which at that point, okay, the rocket will stop momentarily. Okay, just imagine. Okay, just imagine the rocket goes up, reach maximum height, stops momentarily, only then it will go down again. So when we talk about stops momentarily at the peak point, at the maximum height, we are talking about when V is equals to 0. Because at this time, it reached maximum height. Okay, so in this case, we need to find V equals to 0. So this is our V. 20 minus 10, T equals to 0. So when it reached maximum height, it will be 2 seconds. Okay, when 2 seconds, the rocket will reach maximum height. So what is the maximum height? What is the maximum height? So we are talking about maximum S. Okay, so we need to find S. So how can we find S when we are given V? So we need to integrate. So this is where the answer from B comes from. So our S tadi adalah, so S is equals to 20 minus 5t squared. So just substitute the value of t with 2. So we will have 20. 20t yang dulu. 20t lupa pula. 20t, okay? 20t. So ni 20 kali 2. So we will have 20 meter. So the rocket will have 20 meter, the maximum height, when t is equals to 2. Okay. So next, C2. Okay. C2. What is the time when the rocket touches the surface of the field? So the balik semua, it comes back to the ground. So before I have told you that the ground will be the fixed point. So we are saying that what is the value of t when s is equals to 0? Okay, when s is equals to 0. So when s is equal to 0, dt minus 5t squared is equals to 0. So what can we do here? We can factorize. So factor out 5t. So we have 4 minus t equals to 0. So 5t equals to 0, t equals to 0. So So 4 minus t equals to 0. So t is equals to 4. Okay. T is equals to 0 is the initial time. However, when it comes back to the ground, okay, it will become when t is equals to 4. So basically, these are the things that you need to know. So remember, when we talk about maximum, there are two things that you need to understand. First, maximum or minimum, we relate it with dv dt or dy dx equals to 0. Okay. Another thing, in this question, maximum refers to when v is equals to 0. Because of what? When something, okay, when this particle reaches its peaks or reaches its maximum or minimum height before it goes down. Okay, first it goes up, and then before it returns to goes down, it will stop momentarily at that point. So we say that at that time there is no movement. So we relate it with v is equals to 0. So guys, so this is all that we need to know in kinematics. So we have displacement, we have velocity, and the last part is acceleration. Okay, this topic is quite difficult because it involves with our daily life situation, you know, more to K-bite questions. Okay, and it involves, of course, the concept of physics. Okay, so as I told you before, don't block your mind saying that this is hard, this is difficult. Just learn. Okay, you just learn and try to understand. So please, you guys, please make a note from this. Okay, before you comes back to our school, make sure you have write all the notes in acceleration and you have understand on this subtopic, because when we open up our school, the first class we are going to do the exercise. We are not going to teach you again on acceleration. We are just going to do exercises on kinematics. So guys, can't wait to see you guys. I hope you can understand this topic, and remember, this topic will be covered in our final exam. Okay guys, thank you so much.